Okay, the melancholics, these are what I refer to as the little people because their bodies are normally small. They're neat freaks, best way to describe them. Their motto is do it the right way. Everything must be done perfectly right way. These people cannot break rules. A choleric believes that rules were made to be broken or twisted. A melancholic cannot step on the crack on the sidewalk. Okay, they just can't break the rules. These people suffer from near genius syndrome, and that every decision must be the perfect decision. It takes these people 2 weeks to make any kind of a decision. They go to the library, they go to Consumer Guide, they go on the internet, they research, they call people. And at the end of 2 weeks, they finally make the decision, and guess what? It's the same decision that the choleric made in 5 seconds, and that really torques them off. But everything in their life must be the right decision. Everything must be planned 2 weeks in advance. These are the people, the mothers that have play dates planned a month down the road for their children, okay? You don't just spring something on them. It has to be planned. Let me see. This is going to be tough because they are so complex. These are the most perfect people on the planet, but they can't see it. Have you ever seen any of these skits where a man will drop a hat on the ground and you go to pick it up, and every time he goes to pick it up he kicks it away from himself and he's just kicking the hat down the road? These are the melancholics, in my view. They always are striving to be perfection. And the closer they get to perfection, the more they can't see it. They keep seeing the blemishes in themselves. And they drive themselves crazy. And they drive their families crazy because they're always striving to make everybody around them perfect. And the people around them don't want to be perfect. And so these people are eat up with guilt because they don't have the perfect family. But they're still working on it. These are the most loyal people on the planet. They won't file for divorce. They won't quit your job. They're the last ones to lock up at work every night. They're the last ones to go home. They won't quit you. They are loyal. They can't stand change. They like everything just the way it is. They like it quiet, which means they can't stand to be around the cholerics, because when the cholerics are around, they're stirring the pot. They like it nice, calm, and quiet. These are organizers of things. If you go into the office of a melancholic, you'll see everything on the desk lined up perfectly. Everything over here is arranged by height, okay, and it goes down that way. And everything is turned just perfectly. If you want to really ruin a melancholic's day, take the stapler and turn it at a 45-degree angle, or just touch the picture on the wall just a pinch. They'll know it when they get out of the car in the driveway that something's wrong. They can't handle it. They just can't handle it. Let me see. Where are we? Let me give you. Let's switch over to the physical characteristics, and then we'll come back to these people. They're so complex, so beautiful, and yet so complex. Physical characteristics. Their head is triangular shaped. Their chin is pointed. Their body is small. They have small skeletal system. There's very little meat on their bodies, by the way. The best sex you could ever have is with a pure melancholic, because they're not flabby and overweight like the rest of us. You go all night. Their hair, both male and female, they start to get premature gray hair around the age of 20. The women have to start dyeing their hair real early. If you've ever seen the little old ladies with the purple hair, they're pure melancholics. And what happens is the hair gets so gray that after a while the hair dye becomes a crapshoot. And after they've been embarrassed with the purple hair, then they just let it all go gray. The hairstyle is the way it was usually, for a girl, is usually the way it was in high school. Usually long and straight, because it's simple. For the men, it's extremely close cut, because the men can't stand for one hair to blow in the breeze. It has to be perfect. Let's see, if the man has a beard, it's usually a very short trimmed one with gray in it, and they've got the gray hair. Their eyes, oh yeah, let's get to the eyes. Their eyes are a dead giveaway. when they get angry, they give you these long go-to-hell stares where you can see the sparks flying out of their eyes. There's no doubt they're melancholics. They don't say a word, they just give you these long stares. Their workspace, again, is extremely neat. And then finally, the physical characteristics of these people is that when they talk, they use small hand gestures. When they're mixing 2 quarts of milk with 1 cup of flour and then they stir it, their hands are moving, but it's close to their body. They're like the sanguines, though. If you cut off their hands, they can't communicate with the world. That's a dead giveaway. Another dead giveaway that's not on this chart here is that the perfect melancholics usually have perfect English, they have perfect posture, everything about them is perfect. Their clothes are perfectly neat. I mean, they're just perfect people. Okay, let's go back to some of the characteristics on these people. Wow, they're so complex. These are list makers. They have the yellow post-it notes all over their side of their computer. Both the males and the females normally keep journals as a child, or diaries, and they probably still keep journals. These are the people that write names and dates on the back of the pictures, and all the pictures are in the right portfolio based on the year. If you go into the kitchen cabinets, all the cans are arranged so you can read the labels, and the vegetables are arranged from yellow to green color. If you look at a melancholic male's closet, you'll see that much of a gap between all of the clothes hangers, and they're in color order. I mean, they're just, everything about them is perfect. These are clean freaks, especially the women. The women are usually habitual vacuumers. It's a ritual to them that they have to vacuum almost every day. They're the ones that once a year take all of the big dishes out of the top cupboards and clean the shelves and put them all back. They have a to-do list every day, and it must be done. They're the last ones to go to bed at night because somebody's got to do this and nobody else in the family is going to do it. These are the ones that sleep next to the clock because they have physical control over themselves. These people, I refer to them as small people. They're the only ones that can go on a diet and lose 10 pounds in 2 days. They have the discipline for it. And that's why their bodies are always perfectly shaped. You know. As a general rule, the women have small breasts. I guess it's just a small body. You know, I think I missed their hands. They have little, small, perfectly proportioned hands. Perfectly proportioned. Let's see, what else can I tell you about these people? If you ever watch Judge Judy or one of those shows, every now and then you'll see the young girl that's suing the wedding photographer because the pictures weren't right. These people have the perfect, beautiful wedding. They plan it for 6 months, and during the wedding they cried because a fly was in the room or the sun just wasn't bright enough, and it was always a disaster to them when it's perfect to everybody around them. They always see the negative. These are very naive people. They don't trust people. They have a brick wall around them. You cannot get into these people. It takes you a long time to get into where they'll let the guard down for you. But once they do, they're your best friend for life. Okay? These people sacrifice for their families. That's the guilt button that motivates them. As you hit that guilt button, you know, that all the other families have at mom, wham, you got it. Because they want to be the most perfect spouse, they want to be the most perfect parent, and they'll just do anything to strive for that perfection. Let's see, we're on the guilt trip. They are hypochondriacs or suffer from chronic illness. They do it to themselves, okay? They eat their guts out. These are the girls that on prom night have the big zit on the end of their nose. Okay, they did it to themselves. They worry so much, and so they create that. Let's see. Sometimes I get a blank, folks. Hate to get into sex so early, but let's get into the sex. These people have a hard time having an orgasm because the let me come back to that in a minute. These are the people that brush their teeth more than once a day. They're the 25% of the population that does it. The rest of us, we're slobs. These are the people that, as a rule, can't say "God damn it." Anytime I approach somebody and I'm not quite sure if they're melancholic, in the first paragraph in talking with them, I'll slip the word in "God damn it" and see if I get a wild reaction from them. And that's a dead giveaway. They just can't say it. And the reason they brush their teeth and can't say that is everything that you give them as a child, they take as a rule. The first thing mother teaches you is brush your teeth after every meal. And so it's locked into them and they can't break the rule. And then they go off to Sunday school and you can't take the Lord's name in vain. And so therefore they can't say it. It's very seldom you'll hear it come out of them. Now, getting to sex. If a choleric wants to have an orgasm, it's going to happen. Melancholic or sanguine is going to have one right away. Phlegmatic is going to have one right away. A pure melancholic, all night long, because they can't get over the religious upbringing, the guilt that their legs hadn't been shaved in less than 24 hours. It's never perfect. It's never right. They can't quit worrying. They can't turn the mind off and relax. That's why they make the best sex partners. Let me give you this. These people are either artistically or musically inclined. And the reason is they can sit there and pluck on those 4 guitar strings all day long until they get it right, when anybody else as a child is going to go outside and play ball. So these are the musicians or the artists. They just have the patience and the discipline to do this. The pure melancholic, they never get mad at you. That's a good thing about them. They never get mad. If you park in their parking place, they don't get mad. They won't say a word. They just write Tom in their little book. And a week later, it's storming, and you walk out and you grab their umbrella, and they have to go get wet. They won't say a word about it the next day. They just write Tom in their little book. And then you'll come in one day, and there's a half of a stale donut left in the box, and you'll just eat it without asking if anybody wanted it first. And now they go ballistics. They go stark raving nuts. And you're like, my God, it's just a half a donut. Well, if you go get their diary and you look back 2 weeks, you'll see what they're upset about. So they just lose it, folks. It's going to get bad. And then afterwards, they'll sit and they'll cry. And they'll go into a deep state of depression. And the reason they go into the deep state of depression is the perfect person would not have lost it like that. So these people are very happy for a very short time, and then they go into this deep state of long depression. This is the 25% of the population that ends up on Prozac or Wellbrutin or whatever it is, antidepressants. They are absolutely consumed with guilt. This is the people that the religions go after because it's easy to make them feel guilty. And if you get the melancholic, you've got the whole family, because they're trying to make the family perfect, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get you all in church on Sunday. So that's the easy target. Let me see. The pure melancholic. I'm going to come back to them because they are so complex. They're so talented. Absolutely talented, so perfect, but they just can't see it. They torture themselves. They usually lead a very tortured life. They just, again, absolutely love to sacrifice for the family. Let me give you this on a perfect melancholic. This is the best way I know to describe one. The husband can come home from work one day, and the wife will meet him at the door dressed in this big giant chicken costume made out of feathers that she sewed herself because she's very talented. And she sewed the feather costume even though she's allergic to feathers. And she did this because she finds out that the husband once said he had a fantasy as a child of making love to a giant chicken. So she'll take him back in the bedroom, which now is rearranged like a chicken coop, and she'll make love to him. And then afterwards, she'll sit on the side of bed and start crying because she forgot to cackle at the right time. Okay, that is the epitome of a pure melancholy. They love to sacrifice, and it's never perfect enough. Okay, let's give them a break for a few minutes here. And again, their motto, though, is do it the right way.